The other thing I wanted to mention is the difference between classical and modern way of yearly planning. So the classical, well, let me start off with the modern since we're in modern times and a lot of people are using the modern based approach to planning the year. But the modern approach is child-centered. It's based on the self-interest of the child. And yes, we want to provide opportunities to explore their interests, but we don't want the whole of our homeschool to just be child-centered. If we call ourselves Christians, we want to go with the classical model. The classical model is God-centered. How can I expose my kid to as much learning as possible on as many topics as possible? And so the reason why that's even important is because there's so much that God wants us to learn and to focus on that don't necessarily have to do with us personally. It's just a means of getting closer to God, a means of preparing ourselves to serve God. So I challenge you to rethink whether you're a classical homeschooler or a modern homeschooler, and to really think about and pray about the idea of the classical model, that you want your children to learn as much as possible. And you want to cover all the subjects, all the topics as much as you can. And so that really helps the child understand that there's a lot of stuff they need to learn, that they should learn. And that goes back to the idea that we want to cultivate the love of learning. So I'm not talking, the classical model is not where you sit down for hours and hours and read and write and, you know, do all the laborious work of studying. This is where you're not shying away from subjects that your kids aren't good at. This is where they're going to learn stuff that they're not good at, even if it's just snippets or small portions of it. You want to challenge them to not just do stuff that they're interested in, because that's what God would want us to do. Life is not self-centered. Life as a Christian is God-centered, and that's really the biblical worldview of homeschooling, is God and his word and what he says and all the things that he wants us to learn and why he wants us to learn all those things.